And a welcome from me, Andy Reid. This video is a natural continuation of video 4, counting games with marbles and dice. Here are the steps in this video which guide the children to progressively more abstraction. First of all, we refresh the playing of the game. We record the results by colouring in. We describe previous games orally. We write out the game, and we play the game and directly make a written record. As you see, there is a progression through the visible learning levels. The basis of each abstraction development is the previous level. As a result, there is always learning success. I use the straightforward game as an introduction or, as in this case, a reminder. Here is the setup. That is a target of 20 with the 1 to 6 spotty dice. Go to video 4, counting games with marbles and dice, for a full explanation. As a reminder, here are the arrangements which should be followed. The first person to fill or overfill their own strip is the winner. I recommend that the children play this game a few times. Here is a typical game. The next phase is to record an illustrative version of the game played, and for this the children receive a particularly well prepared sheet as shown here. This can be obtained on my website under downloads. The game is played and both children, or all three, make an illustrative copy. It is essential that all children make a copy. This is repeated so that even the slowest have recorded at least 3 different games, and of course the quickest have recorded many more. The illustrative copies can be stored for another time or used straight away. So now I take one of my games that I recorded illustratively and I describe the game story as it took place so that the children get an idea of how to do it. In this case I had the top row, so I can say first of all I had 0 and then I threw a 1, and it's very important to give the running result, and therefore I had 1, and then I threw another 4, so in total I had 5, and then I threw another 3, so in total I had 8, and then I threw another 5, so in total I had 13, and then I threw another 4, so in total I'd had 17. But I lost because my partner got to the 21st. My partner had 0 and then got 3, so the total was 3, and then got 6, so the total was 9, and then 2, the total was 11, and then 4, the total was 15, and then 6. So my partner more than filled the row and won the game. The children then change pairs or threes and they explain their own game stories. Once the children can easily tell the game story and they've had enough practice, they can be introduced to the next stage, which is the written version. This is how I explain it. Here is my game from yesterday. And now I'm going to write down what happened for me. I had the first row. First of all, I had 0, and then I threw 4, so I had 4. and I write it like this. 0 plus 4 equals 4. Then I had 4 and I threw another 3 and I had 7, and I write it like this. I had the 4, so I write it under it, and I had 3 and I had 7. Then I had 7 and I threw a 1. So I had 7 and I threw a 1. So now I have 8. I had 8 and I threw another 3. So that's I had 8, I throw 3, and I have now 11. I have 11 and I throw another 2. So I have 13. 11 plus 2 is 13. And then I threw another 4 and I had 17. So 13 plus 4 is 17. And sometimes we have to go out of the page. And then I do the same for my partner. And here I've already repaired it. My partner had 0 and then threw a 2, so the partner had 2, and then threw a 4, so 2 plus 4 equals 6, and so on. And eventually my partner won because my partner got 21, which is over 20 or 20, before I did. It is very important to emphasize that there should be only one symbol for each square. And when we come to the tens, they are written correctly under each other, one symbol for each square. The children then write all the game stories to the games they already have. The reason for writing diagonally like this at the beginning is to emphasize that the finishing point for one edition is the starting point for the next edition. I had 1, so I started with 1. I threw 4, so I have 5. I started with 5 and I threw 3, so now I have 8, and so on. The next stage is to invite the children to write these under each other vertically, and most children prefer to do this and willingly adopt it, but those who would prefer to carry on writing diagonally should do so. The children can be invited to choose other dice and other targets, for instance the target 100 for their games, and they write the game story vertically or underneath each other, making sure that the columns match. The tens are under each other and the ones are under each other. The children can be encouraged to leave out the illustrative level, that is, play the game and make a written record directly. Always see that all children involved make a written record. We certainly don't want any passive passengers staying on the outskirts of the group and just watching what's going on. They need to be involved. Always ensure that when they write the digits that they are in the correct columns. The activity continues at a degree of complexity decided by the pair or 3. That is the target and the dice used. A further option with the dice is to take the basis 10 dice, the first 2 being 0 to 9 and 00 to 90. Well, that's it for this video. I wish you every success and lots of fun in using these activities, and obviously a lot of fun and success for your children. Go to my website for links to other videos, for information and for downloads. Cheerio!